Swing and a drive, left field, get up, ball, get out of here, and
I'm going to start this one by congratulating Will Wagner's dad on making the Hall of Fame. That's
It took him all 10, but he made it.
obviously not the headline of the week for the Blue Jays, but I completely forgot that Billy Wagner was Will Wagner's dad
No,
until
you didn't.
yesterday. I knew it was a thing, but I just completely blanked on the fact that they were related.
So
I don't
you
know.
forgot that a Nepo baby
Yeah.
was a Nepo baby on the
No,
Nepo
I knew
Baby
he
Blue
was a
Jays.
Nepo baby, but I forgot it was like that Billy Wagner and just never put two and two together again. I knew it when they traded for him because I remember him being talked about as Billy Wagner's son, Will
Yeah.
Wagner. And yeah, here we are. You guys really want to get into Hall of Fames later, or can we just mention them now and carry on? Because
Let's just do it now.
Just
Okay.
congrats to Ichiro and CC Sabathia and Billy Wagner.
Yep.
Fuck you to that
gigantic fuck you to whoever the hell it
one
was
writer.
didn't vote for Ichiro. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but like to be the one person that didn't, and you fucked up because your ballot isn't public. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't help that, and I'm not gonna. There's like an alleged thing going on with the only unanimous Hall of Famer currently.
Yeah, that's not what I want to talk about right now.
Yikes! We're not gonna talk about it, but
we gotta let that simmer.
Yeah, but like holy shit, Jesus, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, in fairness, the whole concept of like a unanimous Hall of Famer really doesn't mean a whole lot. Like, if we're going just based off that, we're talking about Mariano Rivera being the best player of all time, essentially, is what this is kind of saying. Yeah. And I don't think anyone in their right mind is ever going to think that. I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to think that Derek Jeter and Ichiro are the next two.
You can make the argument that the best player in baseball history isn't even a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. So it's yeah.
Who
so
that's what we're at. With?
I don't know. It's not much of an argument. It's the correct. It's the correct statement. But yeah. Congrats to those three.
Do you want to know a fun fact though? The writers want to make all the ballots public. The Hall of Fame doesn't. Found that out
really?
Today.
That's so weird.
Huh.
Like,
so you really can't blame the writers because they voted to make it public.
Well, I mean, you can choose to have your vote, your ballot public though. It says right at the bottom.
They like collectively voted that they want all of them to be public. So obviously some guys didn't, but it's the Hall of Fame that decided no.
That's why I like the people on Twitter that actually put them out. It's like, hey, I'm an official baseball writer. Here's my ballot.
I respect that.
Granted, some of them
I like when people kind of give their reasoning. It's cool.
Yeah, granted, some of them aren't the best, but
I'm not going to agree with you not voting Ichiro, but I would love to know why. Like, what was the thought process behind it?
What's the thought process for not putting in the greatest Japanese player of all time?
Yeah.
Okay, so
the hit king.
Not enough home runs, I guess.
So I wonder if that first part is part of it.
Japanese player
could be
because he's the first Japanese Hall of Famer. Like, which is,
but also like there's just people who are like, nah, he doesn't deserve to be unanimous first ballot. Like, there's people who do that. That's just stupid.
There was one person apparently.
No, but there's people. That's what people have done before. Like Griffey.
Yeah.
Cal.
Griffey was 3. Yeah, Griffey
Jeter.
3. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, and
there's plenty of them, and that's literally the reasoning. So
we can just quickly bring it up. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones were close. They were the next two closest.
They're probably going to get
Beltran was about 70%. Andrew Jones was about 66. Yeah, and
they're probably going to get in next year.
They're going to get in because that fucking the next year's first timers. Oh man,
it's Ryan Braun, Shin-Soo Choo. I'm going to skip this one. Gio Gonzalez, Alex Gordon.
We have watched all these people play the majority of their careers. Feeling a little old now.
Oh yeah,
Alex Gordon, Cole Hamels play all their careers.
Yep, literally their entire careers.
Matt Kemp, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy, Hunter Pence. Shout out Nate. Rick Porcello, Neil Walker. Can you guys do me a favor here? I want you to take a guess. I'm assuming you probably know. If we take Ryan Braun out of the picture because steroids, how many awards do you think are in that group?
like MVPs, Cy Youngs, and just
Only
like
individual awards, not Silver Sluggers, not Gold Gloves, just individual awards. Rookie
Hey,
of the
run it
Year,
again because
MVP.
I wasn't.
Yep.
okay, other than Braun.
Also, I skipped Eddie because I was going to use Eddie to transition, but we're going back now.
Yeah, it's
No,
Shin Soo
I
Choo.
got it. It's in the group. I'm just gonna look at
Okay,
it.
yeah. Shin Soo Choo, Edwin, Gio, Alex
MVP.
Gordon.
Are we counting Rookie of the Year or just MVP
Yeah,
Cy Young?
Rookie of the Year, MVP, Cy Young.
Okay.
other
Take
than
out Rookie
Braun,
of the
because
Year, and I have a way better
Can't
guess.
count Braun. Bronze didn't count.
he did steroids. You honestly could give it to Kemp and just say this.
When was
Mhm.
this? I sent it in the group, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. I can
put
read it again if you want, if it's quicker.
What the fuck is it? Did I skip it?
I can re-put it in the group chat for you.
It wasn't very long ago. It was literally, I swiped up like twice, 3 times.
There, Nate, I got you. I just put it in the group chat again.
Beautiful.
But I don't think there is a. Okay, no, I know one because it's a dumb one.
Mm-hmm.
There is at least a Cy Young on here.
There is at least a Cy Young on here.
There's
Yes.
Isn't there one MVP too?
I will not give any more hints.
Okay, so no, there is one Cy Young. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Hamels never got one. Gio didn't. I think Matt Kemp has an MVP. Does he
No,
not?
he was the year that he was the
No, but I
runner-up for
think he
Braun.
has one before that, doesn't he? He doesn't?
I don't
Okay,
think so.
so
He
then
was the
it's
runner-
just Porcello's Cy Young. I don't care about Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's just Porcello Cy Young.
None of them won Rookie of the Year either. It's only Rick Porcello's Cy Young. There are a combined
If
two awards.
if you take it away from Braun, you're giving it to Matt Kemp, so it stays the same in that.
So it's one
Okay.
MVP, one Cy Young in this
I
list
think
of what?
Braun
13
also had the
people?
Rookie of the Year, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering.
like-
I looked at a lot of shit, but
Dude.
yeah, that's insane that in a class of what's that, 13 guys coming in, there is 2 individual awards,
Oh yeah.
one that actually counts.
And let's be honest, the Rick Porcello one was just because he led the league in wins. He did
Yep.
not lead in any
Nope.
other stat category at all that year.
Like, it's
I will
just
say though,
bad.
I picked up Rick Porcello right
Mhm.
after the draft in my fantasy league that year because somebody went on the IL and he was the first guy I picked up. What a great ride that was.
Great run. In all fairness, Rick Porcello was a great year for him, but it just
Yeah.
wasn't a Cy Young caliber season.
I don't.
No.
That's the thing is like I don't look at any of these guys and immediately go Hall of Fame.
None of them.
I go
Not one.
all these. I go no.
I said it to you guys last night. I think Eddie maybe finds a way to stay on. I think the DH is going to hurt him. I think Hunter Pence and Cole Ham will stay on the ballot, and I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah.
I think
Like-
Edwin's 4 or 5 year peak is better than anyone on that list. But I
Yes,
think Edwin's career
probably.
is just not good enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you got to
It's
obviously
tough that a lot of it's a DH too, right?
you also got to
Mhm.
take in the Cincinnati years where he was so meh.
Yeah.
Like
There wasn't that
pre-Toronto.
even the beginning of his Blue Jays years,
yeah.
he wasn't great here to start. He's got a career 35.5 WAR. That's just not
That is
gonna
like
do
all
it.
offense too.
That is not
Like-
going to do it. 1,832 hits, 424 homers.
He gets
It's-
penalized though because he's playing first base and DH for the most of that. So
Yeah.
Majority of that being DH because it was like Justin Smoke on Chris Colabello on that team too. Like,
yep.
Not great.
but yeah, like
Not great. The Blue Jays. Welcome
yeah.
back to the flight deck. I don't think I actually said that.
No, you didn't.
But hey, we're here. We have lots to talk about.
For once.
I have lots to say on one. The other one, I'm just excited. We finally signed someone. Someone took our fucking money. Can you
It's
believe
not
it?
a pitcher.
And it's not a pitcher. It's not a reliever.
He was our and wait, no. He was our first choice.
He was. Well,
Maybe.
he was a top choice of ours.
We honestly didn't know a market for him, so we could have been his best destination. So
He didn't fail any physicals from what we know with other teams. We beat other teams. We didn't get beat on a guy we signed.
we also got a relatively great deal.
It's
Yeah.
a very good deal.
Anthony
It's a
Santander.
phenomenal deal.
And
he's
it works out to like
taking our money down the
18.5.
road.
And I think they said with it's like 30 million in deferred money, I'm pretty sure, or something like that.
It
You can get up to
could
50.
go up to like 50.
Yeah, but and then
Perfect.
like with the CBT and the way that deferred works, it's basically on the CBT, it's like 14 million a year.
Realistically, I think if you look at it, it's probably gonna end up being a 3-year deal. Unless he's shit, but he can probably make more than that at some point and get
Sure.
a couple years tacked on by somebody else or whatever. I don't think we pick up the 6th year option on it.
No.
But I think overall it's a very good contract for the Jays. I want to
I
say,
think
right off the hop here, I want to say, Anthony Santander is a very flawed player.
sure,
Yes.
Lots of flaws.
sure.
But
Yeah.
However, I
What?
think
he
that guy's
brings a
going to be
lot of thump into the
beloved.
middle of this lineup. He's matchup proof because he's a switch hitter. And his splits, I think, are very similar from both sides. Maybe he plays the outfield this year, probably not going forward for much longer if he does.
No.
He's not very fast. He doesn't get on base, but he gives us a four hitter, which we haven't had since Taylor left.
He's
Yeah.
going to be fucking beloved in Toronto.
Oh, he already is.
Apparently, he's also like a huge clubhouse
Clubhouse.
presence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it helps that Mark and Ross have the ties from Cleveland. So I think it's just overall going to be a very good fit.
That's an insane like back in time pull. That like when he came in Cleveland, they were.
How many
But
guys have come through Toronto and been just pure home run guys that people fall in love with here? Like Eddie is probably one of them, if we're being
He
honest.
wasn't a
also,
pure home run guy. He hit around 300, did he not?
Who, Eddie?
Eddie was
Yeah.
like 280s.
I guess he was a little bit better than mostly just homers, but like he was a big
Also,
home run guy. Teoscar, same situation, mostly just home run guy, power guy. Like
when
you bring in the guys with pop, those are the guys that end up getting the fandom here.
also we say that he's not a great hitter. He had 235 last year. He
Mhm.
had over 100 RBI.
Mm-hmm.
Batting 235? That's
Mhm.
fucking insane.
He
Like,
also led the league in like bad balls hit for homers.
oh, he had
Or
like
it was
11
like
last year.
pitches, yeah,
It's
pitches out of the
also
zone hit for homers.
also worth
Nuts.
noting he wouldn't have done the majority of his damage hitting right-handed, obviously, because
Mm,
Mhm.
the wall.
more righties than lefties. But Baltimore had a huge left field, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean Toronto's not a hitter's park anymore, but
We're
Hey,
supposed to
and
be. Just
yeah, but
never
it's
it
turned
just
not
into it.
playing that way.
just to
No.
take this into effect, his OPS by AL East ballpark in the last 2 years, Yankee
Mhm.
Stadium is a 985. Rogers Center's a 941.
Oh,
Granted,
that
Jays were shit this year,
we
but
stink. Yeah.
Fenway was a 926. And then Camden was a 788. And that's with
Ugh.
shitty right left field.
I forget the exact
Tropicana
stat.
669. That doesn't matter because they're not playing in
Mhm.
Tropicana this year.
Oh, we're good.
And Baltimore's moving the
Apparently
fences back in, so it's fixed.
he's clutch as hell.
Oh, he's
At
ridiculous.
least I can't remember the numbers on it, but like he led the league in something to do with clutch stats, which is something we are
I think he
terrible
led
at.
in home runs after the seventh inning,
That sounds right.
which is, if I'm remembering, obviously very good.
Huge.
But
And
yeah,
apparently
you're
two of
not
those home
asking
runs were
him.
on. There was one that was like 11 inches above the strike zone, and he hit it out for a grand
Oh,
slam to win it.
yeah,
There was
down
another one that
three.
was like someone went to block the ball and he hit it out for a home run to tie the game or something stupid.
He's
Yeah,
gonna be the
Love
guy
that.
everyone falls in love with, but like those strikeouts and the low average are gonna drive people insane too.
Yeah.
yeah. In the
Yeah.
last
Gonna
three
take the good with the
seasons,
bad. It's
yeah,
what we needed. I
It's
think
fun.
I I think we all agreed at the start of the season he made them or start of the offseason, he made the most sense
Mm-hmm.
for
yeah,
us this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. In the last 3 seasons, only 5 players have hit more home runs than him in MLB. So,
Great.
like, we'll
That's
take it.
fantastic. That's exactly what we asked for, and we got it. So here we are.
Yeah,
There are
exactly.
two other names on the list right now.
There's three,
Uh,
really.
well, two hitters on the list.
Two bats.
One of them, very similar hitter in Pete Alonso. Very much not. I would give him more average than Anthony Santander, but very much a home run hitting guy. You're looking, no, not much, not more.
I'm not giving him more average. I think he also hit 230 last year.
Yeah, but last year was a down year for Pete. I
They're
mean,
both 250 hitters at best.
sure.
Yeah, they're
That's
both
the same
250
profile.
hitters with 50. Okay, well, Santander, I'll say 40 home run potential. Pete, 50 plus.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, I mean, we've talked about this in the group chat ad nauseum here, but I mean, having two home run hitters like Pete and Santander, it intrigues me a lot.
it would.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Now,
It
does it
goes-
fit
it-
positionally? Probably not.
No!
Jurickson
the
Profar
slightest.
is probably the better option. But
Jurickson Profar also just makes more sense in a lineup state because he's
it
he's
makes way
like
more sense.
he's prime. Hey, George, you're not starting the season leadoff. We have
Yeah.
Jurickson Profar. Like,
However, the intrigue of having three potential 40 home run guys is a little more intriguing to me.
hey, man. Go get both
No,
Profar
I
and
want
Pete.
Profar.
Go get Pete and Profar.
Pete and Profar works.
Cooking.
Doesn't make
The
sense, but
thing,
it works.
I was listening to FT today, and they were talking like you could probably get Profar.
Mhm.
The deal they said, I absolutely love this. Like a 2 to 3 year deal at 11 mil with an opt out after the first year. I am 100% in.
Oh, that's weak, dude. That's you're telling me you get Jerks Profar for Jeff Hoffman money?
But Pete's gonna want like 30. So if we can get Profar for, I don't think you're gonna get him for 11, but call it
No.
15 to 20, and
Yeah.
then you have another 10 to 15 that you would have been just spending on Pete to go get your Scherzer or whoever else that they're also tied to. They could use another starter. So I think it's a much cleaner fit
Makes sense.
lineup wise, and guy can slap the ball around the field like this front
Yeah.
office loves
Well,
that.
last year he could.
And also, Jerks and Profar has just the perfect amount of fuck you in his game because
I'm just saying.
he starts shit. I love it.
34, 46, 40, 37,
Are you really
53.
just Pete?
It's a
You
lot of
really
home
just want
runs.
Vlad at third. You really just
It's
want
a
Vlad at third
lot
base
of
again,
home
don't you?
runs. I want to
You-
see Vlad play third. I want to see home runs. It's just I miss this team just hitting a shit ton of home runs. That's kind of all I'm at
Hey
here.
man, if it gets us into anything to get us within relevant to the postseason again.
I know it's kind of counterproductive on what I'm saying, but like if we have a team that can play good defense and we hit a lot of home runs and the team pitches to what they can, I think at the top of their potential here, maybe.
A lot
I
of
don't know.
stuff has got to
Hey,
switch.
in your world, Vlad has to play third because neither him or Pete are going to DH in
No, yeah. I think Vlad goes to
what's
third, Pete
realistically going
goes
to
to
be a
one.
contract year. Even if Pete's a multi-year, he's not going to move to
No,
DH.
no.
You then
You
kind of
force
make
Santander to play left.
No,
sure, I
if
guess. I think he
he can
DHs,
DH.
Oh yeah, this
but
is all
then
right.
you have Will Wagner, Ernie Clement, Addison Barger, or
Mm.
Relvis Martinez, and it
I was gonna bring
just
this up.
ties up a logjam.
Yeah,
And I don't love that part of it. I think you can make that group of guys work at third base
Hmm.
or potentially second base. I think there was talk of Jimenez maybe moving to third. I think I heard somebody say that. Whatever.
or
You can make that
next
I
work in the
think
year.
infield, but that's better than Clase and Rodon to me.
right.
Yeah,
Well, I
dude,
think
And
there's
both of
such a
without
like
go ahead.
there's such a logjam. Like
Yeah.
like we were saying, if you do get one of Profar and Alonso, here's just the
Mhm.
names of guys fighting for one spot, regardless of where the spot is. Wagner, Loperfido, Barger, Clement, Jimenez, Schneider, Clase, and then Buffalo guys, Rodon, Orelfis, Kasevich, Paul Majot, like all those guys.
Oh, I
The
forgot Paul
trade's
Mazzoni.
probably coming, right?
I think you
Like,
could also run it in kind of a more fluid situation where like there's days where Pete plays first, Vlad plays third, Santander DHs, and then there's days where Vlad DHs, Pete plays first, uh Santander plays a corner, and then you have Pete DH, Vlad first or third, and then just kind of run it in that type of way. I don't know how you do it matchup wise
also,
based on
you're
lefty righty this that and all the
we
other things.
we we do realize that there's going to be at least 10 to 15 games where Santander's in right and George is DHing.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
know
think
that's
that's the
going to
other
happen.
thing too is you also have to have George off his feet a fair amount.
yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's ways to do it. Does it make the most sense? No. Is it the most fun? I think so.
It will
I
be.
I
think
disagree.
It'd be fun.
it's fun.
It'd be fun. I think Profar's just as
I'm
fun,
not
and
saying it's the better option.
I
Profar
think
easily
it's
is
a
more
cleaner
pink.
fit. I like our
Yeah,
infield depth more than our outfield depth,
sure.
Yeah,
and I
the
think
outfield is
Profar at the
just
top of the lineup would be like such a spark.
the
Hmm.
outfield right now depth is just like other than the obvious people is Loperfido, Clase,
Rodon.
and Rodon,
Yeah.
and then
Lucas.
What's his name? Lucas.
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 Lucas is
And
probably going to
but
start on
compared
opening
to
day.
the infield of Wagner, David Schneider,
Well,
Jimenez, like
let's be real here.
Eh,
I don't think Lucas is starting on opening day.
he
no.
might not anymore, depending on if
No,
we do get
I think
Profar.
I think Miles Straw is your starting center fielder on
Oh,
opening day, while Dalton
Forgot about
Varsho is
this.
hurt
Forgot about this. But
because
yeah,
we took on $12 million of Miles Straw,
yeah.
who's a Gold Glover, and this team
But
just
it's
loves defense.
it's
traded for Miles
just
Straw, but actually bonus money. But actually Miles Straw.
What- I was gonna wait on this one because I feel
No,
like
you
we
have
needed to bring up the Sasaki stuff first because I think that's the only reason that this happened.
No,
It is.
And I'm
completely-
very
It's just-
pissed
it's
off
just
at that
stupid.
fucking guy because of this.
I'm not pissed off at him. I'm pissed off at our front office.
I'm
Because you know
pissed
what the
off at
Dodgers
him
did? You know what the Dodgers
Hmm?
did? They traded for signing bonus money afterwards.
after. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I guess you could have done that. Sure. Fine.
But
They-
apparently, the Miles Straw
it was-
contract isn't going to affect their spending, even
Hey.
though we're taking on 12 million. So,
Miles Straw is a
we're over the
fantastic
second luxury
outfielder.
tax, so
yeah, he's the shittier Dalton Varsho. But like,
He's a
No.
terrible
he's
hitting
Bradley
Dalton
Zimmer.
Varsho.
oh,
He's better than
He's,
Bradley
he's not Dalton Varsho at all.
He's better than Bradley. He was like a 98th percentile defender for the last 5 years.
I think Miles Straw
He-
won a Gold Glove.
He's great.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty
saying
sure.
it's a totally dissimilar player profile. Like
Yeah,
defense, speed, no bat.
no bat. He doesn't even need to bring the bat to
He has a
work.
career like 5.
But also,
something OPS.
that's such a Ross Atkins pickup. if we're being honest.
because we've taken on like $150 million in contracts.
It's
in
tough to
Cleveland.
me because it would have been nice to see Rodin, Lil Perfido, Lucas try and get that like
I've been
extra
saying-
outfielder
I don't
job.
know.
and
I've been saying Lo Perfido's the starting center fielder for the last 4 months in opening day. Like,
I don't know if this
that's
affects
exaggeration,
them.
but
I've got to be honest. I think he's your defensive replacement guy at the end of the bench.
the only person this affects, I think, is Clase.
But
I
I don't think
Clase wasn't that much of a defender. But
I don't
Lil
think
Perfido
any of them
is
were
as far as
coming
the
up-
roster. I'm saying as far as the roster spot, like
Why are you carrying 2 extra outfielders then?
because you
The
can.
the
don't know.
upside of like Barger,
hmm
like Clement's on the roster for sure. Davis
Yeah.
is probably on the roster. We haven't even talked about him.
Where is
Like,
Davis on the
Arelis
roster
is
right now?
pop. I don't know, but you have there's trades are coming. Something
Davis
has
is
to.
in the outfield right now.
yeah, dude, this
If we're-
screams a bullpen, like a trade for a bullpen arm or something. Like,
We got a lot of days until the season opens, and I don't know how many of these names that we've mentioned are going to be on the 40-man roster by the time we reach
Just-
February 18th or whatever it is.
Just go package 5 of them and get me Nolan Arenado and Ryan Helsley.
Sure. And then we're
You can put
definitely.
5 of them together and make a trade work and still have a full bench of guys
Mhm.
in this
Mhm.
vein of player.
Well,
Like
that's why we dumped everyone last year, right? Just to have this option. I'm with it. I think it's a good idea. Can we rip the Band-Aid off and talk about that fucking kid now?
are we done? Wait, before we do that, just quickly,
We
say
don't
hello
have to
your
get
back-
off the Blue Jays. I just want to talk about it because it's
Oh,
very
well,
much
I was gonna
includes
say
the
hello
Blue
to
Jays.
say just quickly say hello to our backup catcher and also one of the greatest names in baseball. Because we
Christian
signed
Bethencourt.
Christian Bethencourt, not the name that I'm talking
did
about.
he play in the majors last year? Like
played a little bit
where's
with
he
the
been?
Cubs.
Like I know
Played
the name.
He was on the
Was
Cubs
he in
last year.
Tampa at one point recently?
Yeah, he was on
Yes.
Tampa in 22 or 23.
I think he's a decent defender, right? Like
he's
can hit a little
he's
bit.
great at controlling the run game. So
I think he like started for Tampa or somebody recently.
Sounds right.
he was
sounds
he was at
very
least
right.
platooning with
At least
Tampa.
platooning, yeah.
He was platooning
There's-
with Tampa, and I know he was on the Cubs for a little bit this year.
There's only one thing he needs to do, and that's be better than Tyler Heineman. That's not a very tough thing to do. Gotta be
I think-
honest.
Who are the 2 younger guys too? Philip Clark and Peyton Henry, I think. Like
Yeah.
Sounds
I'm
right.
sure it's gonna be a good run for a backup job here. We'll see what
Mhm.
happens. Like I think some
Mhm.
of them have hit a bit in the minors, so
And then what's the other guy? Dick Lovelady?
Dick Lovelady, Richard
Right.
Lovelady,
he's a reliever.
lefty
Lefty.
arm, yeah.
Okay.
So-
Interesting.
Dude,
I
it's
don't-
depth left. It's depth. Like it's.
If it works, it
Does he
works. If it
throw
doesn't, who
hard?
cares?
Let's pull up the.
Nobody's got a cool name.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You don't do you know or are you just guessing or
You don't get DFA'd if you throw hard.
No,
Yeah,
you do. You do. Why do you think we got
Mm,
Genesis Cabrera?
Who was
That's
that
fair.
real big
Hmm.
Latino guy we had that I thought was sick that threw
Oh, Luis
gas?
Arias? No, Frias. It was Luis Frias.
Frias.
Oh,
throws hard?
Electricity is
Did he
what
throw
we
hard?
dubbed him. Let me see if I could.
Do we still have that guy?
No.
no. He got DFA'd last year,
Um,
didn't
That's so
Oh.
sad.
Lovelady averages 94 on the fastball. So
he? So no.
Sick.
no.
What's
So
his
no.
mix?
Four-seam sinker slider.
Great.
So
That's not a terrible mix out of a lefty,
No.
but
Better be able to spin the shit out of that slider.
he's not going to matter. Let's be serious. He's not going to pitch unless
He's
he
the
has a
fourth
great.
lefty right now. Like,
Yeah.
I think, or third.
The entire last episode, we talked about Roki Sasaki.
You positive.
Someone got real
I
delusional
You got
delusionalified it,
delusional.
and made themselves real mad.
and I talked myself into believing that we had a chance.
See,
I think we genuinely did. I don't think it was a
Let's be
great chance.
serious.
I was in
Let's
between.
be serious here.
I was in between you two,
Huh.
and I jumped to Brant's side
Mhm.
when we got Miles Straw
Yeah.
with the money.
Now-
That made it seem like it, but
That got me to like, oh, we're getting him probably.
Let's be honest here with ourselves and with everyone in the room.
Pretends to be shocked.
Nobody had a fucking chance other than the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I don't think
This
that's entirely
was-
true. I don't think that's entirely true.
It's entirely true. Like none of
I don't think it
all
was
this
100 to-
reporting. What's that?
I don't think he was 100% going to the Dodgers.
He was 100% going.
It might have been 60,
Yeah.
and the numbers kept going up.
I'm not 100. I'm not 60. I'm like 80. There's like
I am
80.
110. It's great. They had to put out all this reporting of like, oh, there's other teams and blah blah blah. There was never a world where he wasn't going to go play with Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
The thing that I hated too, because he had, ironically, he had his press conference today.
Mhm.
One of the things he said was, it didn't matter if they had Japanese players on the team. I just wanted to go to a city that was nice. Like, yeah, because, San Diego, where your like idol is pitching still.
Mhm.
Like,
Would you want to go to San Diego right now?
San Diego's
I
a
mean-
shithole. I respectfully, sorry to anyone that lives there.
And
Prove me wrong.
They're
but
also
it's-
in such a ownership flux, and the
Yeah,
team
I'm not
could be sold,
disagreeing.
and maybe like
He did say
they're trying
that
to shed money. Like
the Dodgers had a more solid management group.
I mean, hey, man, but why didn't he come to Toronto when you have like a coalition? Well, let's see. The Dodgers, you met with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman. The Jays send the triumphant trio of Bo Bichette, Dalton Varsho, and Chad Green.
Shout out to Bo Bichette for that. I really appreciate that one.
But Dalton
Chad
Varsho and
Green,
Chad Green, not even George.
fucking Green. Like, I don't
You
know.
could put the entire.
You
Jays
couldn't get a
40 man.
starter.
You could put the entire Jays goddamn 40 man. I would say
Yeah.
at least 15 names before I said Chad Green. Like,
Dalton Varsho, who's a free agent after this year, I believe. Next year, maybe.
Dalton's
Dalton's
another
still
Next
like
year?
2, I think.
Okay.
But you send a
I will
guy who's
say-
for sure leaving, a guy who's
Mhm.
maybe still here for 2
Got
years.
2 years left,
and-
and Chad, who's leaving too.
Chad who might leave.
Let me. I hadn't thought of this until just now. The spin zone on the Chad Green part, I can kind of see. He came in here off Tommy John.
Okay.
Roki's gonna need Tommy John at some point, so like kind of
Yeah.
like the injury side of it. I know that was how are you
And-
gonna keep me healthy? That type of stuff was part of what he was asking. So like
The-
maybe that's part of it. That's the only thing I could see.
there was a report that like Roki had teams do homework, but the homework was like, why do you think my velocity dipped this year? And tell me what you're going to do to help me fix that. So, like, but just the image of all these teams walking up to Roki, and you see
Yeah.
Bo Bichette, Dalton Varsho, and Chad Green.
I would love to give this kid the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe there was a
He's
chance
really-
for other teams. Maybe.
It's just-
I don't see it. The reports were out from day one that the Dodgers were the heavy favorites, and they ended up being the guy that got him. If
I think they were totally the heavy favorites. Like
Yeah.
maybe 60 was low. Maybe it's 75, 80. But I think other teams did have a chance.
maybe I'm just
It was-
if he genuinely was deciding back and forth, then my whole argument doesn't matter, and it is what it is. If you were planning on going to the Dodgers the entire time, it's much more frustrating that you led everybody on for
Well, that's-
however long just to be like, yeah, I'm going to do exactly what everyone said I was going to do
That-
6 months ago.
because that was the thing in the week leading up to him signing. It was, oh, the Cubs are out. Oh, the Rangers are out. The what was it? The Mets have been told they're out.
The Yankees
And then-
were out.
The Yankees have been told they're out. And then you get to the day of, and it was just the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Blue Jays. You get to the day of, and it goes in the morning. The Padres are now out, and we're like,
But it wasn't the Blue Jays that were
and
out.
it wasn't the Blue Jays that were out.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna hate him for so long just because of the way this all went down. Like, he's probably a great kid.
he
I'm
probably is.
assuming super nice guy. But the way everything went down and having to watch us go get fucking Miles Straw and his $1 billion contract
Miles
for
Straw could
no
be,
reason to have all this international pool money that we can now do nothing with
Miles Straw
because
could be a
you
platinum glover, but he will just be forever linked to how we
doesn't
didn't get
matter.
Roki.
Could not care less.
Doesn't
Like, the
matter.
fact that you did this and then just said, no, I'm gonna go to the Dodgers anyways. Thanks for doing all
Because
that
we
for
could
me,
give
but
him more money.
see you later.
We could have
I
given
don't blame him at all for the Miles Straw thing.
No, I don't either.
That's
But it's
100% on the
Mm.
Jays.
I blame the situation. It was a dumb move, but they were trying to. It clearly they thought he was close enough that if they said, "Hey, look, man, we are all in.
making money.
Here's
We're trying.
this money that we have. It's right here. We can show it to you. Bang, away you go. Come to Toronto." Clearly,
Okay,
there was
but
enough in that situation, or he
the
made
guy
them feel
wasn't-
like that was the situation.
Seriously, like $2 million is what ended up being the differential that they could spend versus us. The guy came over 2 years early and foregoed probably a $200 million.
That's another thing that threw me
Oh, I
off.
know.
Seriously, you think $2 million is going to sway the kid? He also publicly said, apparently, that he was fine with teams making trades for international signing bonus money after he decided, which the Dodgers did. He didn't force the Jays to do this. The Jays just went out and stupidly did this.
I understand.
It seems like a last-ditch effort now. I was with you guys
Yeah.
at the time when it happened. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
No, it does scream
they're
last.
they're
ditch
doing
now.
this, but it just seems like, oh, we can give you $2 million more than the Dodgers.
Right. We're also not in the room, so none of us really know anything on how this went down. So I could be wrong, you could be wrong, we could both be wrong at the same time. Who fucking knows? But personally, this is just how I feel about the whole thing, and I can't stand the fucking kid right now. Also, I'm so sick of people going to the goddamn Dodgers that it pisses me off even more.
Not
Like-
okay. Before we get into this debate
Mhm.
about are the Dodgers good for baseball and blah 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 blah.
No, I don't even
Hey.
need to get there yet. I
Okay,
just want to talk about this stupid kid.
making sure. But
Mm.
like, because let's be honest here, we don't even need
Uh-huh.
to get into that other shit. The
Mm.
Dodgers are still going to add another fucking starting pitcher.
Jeez. Dude, you say they have
Clayton
to?
Kershaw.
Oh, they're going to. Yeah.
They're
No, I
going
know.
to
Yeah, they're
Like-
waiting till like it's either February 6th or February
when they can
9th.
throw literally 6 guys on the
They
60
can
day.
transfer guys to the 60-day, and they're going to add Kike and Kershaw. Like,
TK Kershaw, like they're man.
Like, I'm just, if the whole thing with Sasaki was that you wanted to start your legacy and do all that,
And
I don't love going to the Dodgers to win championships. It's
I also-
very
one thing-
Go ahead.
This
Go ahead.
I hate you because you got me like fucking riled up. One thing that I didn't like, and this is probably no fault of Roki's, it's the fault of his agent.
Mhm.
It was all of the, small market teams have a chance. He might not necessarily want to be in the big spotlight.
Mm.
And I'm like, man,
then you threw yourself in the biggest spotlight in
you
baseball.
threw yourself in the biggest fucking spotlight.
okay,
The
but
thing for
You're gonna be
if
you're gonna be
you're
one
his
of the
agent-
3-headed Japanese monster in,
Mhm.
in
if you're
LA.
if you're his agent, why are you going to narrow out teams?
No, I'm not. No,
You're
I'm
not.
I'm not saying like as that's a bad thing. I'm just like a fuck you, dude. Like,
just everything that looking
Nate-
back at everything it said, it just pisses me off more knowing where he
Grant's
ended
coming
up.
from a Roki level of hatred. I'm just coming from fuck your names up if I split that shit. I'm coming from a hatred of don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining when it comes to fucking free agency in the Blue Jays, man. The last 2-3
So
seasons.
sick of this. I feel like this is just a bunch of pent up anger from fucking Shohei and Soto and Burns and insert every other free agent in the last 3 years here. And now it's just all coming out on this fucking kid that didn't even go for more money. It's just
No,
like
and that's
everyone
the thing,
else, fine. They got Soto got $765 million. We
Jamo,
weren't giving it to
Jamo
him.
got 325. Shohei
Yeah.
got 700 million. This fucker got 6.5.
It had nothing to do with it, and I hate it so much more. That's just where I'm coming from. Anyways, what I'm trying to say, if you look at someone like different sport comparison, obviously, Kevin Durant. I don't respect a shred of Kevin Durant's championships because he had to go to the Warriors to win them. That's where I'm at with Roki Sasaki. I know
Obviously-
it's little different, but it's just
Much
like
different.
and when you get 80 years down the road and people look back at Roki Sasaki's baseball reference page and he has 5 World Series, they're not going to go, oh, well, he had to go to the Dodgers to do it because no one's going to fucking care. But right now, when I'm looking at it, it's like, great, you went to where you were almost guaranteed to be at least near the World Series, and you won. Congratulations. I don't think that does anything for your legacy if that was your point of coming over here. Am I wrong?
Hey,
No,
man, it's gonna
I
like
just don't care
Sure.
at all.
That's fine. It's just this
like
whole
like
thing.
we said, this is 2 years of just frustration
It's just,
coming out.
I think I'm very self-aware on this. It's pure jealousy and pure hatred for what just happened.
Brant, we should be happy. We're in. We got a guy, and we're in on 2 of it.
Sure, I know we spent less time on Santander than we did on Roki Sasaki, and I get it, but it's just so fucking frustrating at this
By the
point.
time this episode airs, we could have Pete Alonso and or Jurgen Profar and or
Yes.
Max Scherzer.
Yes,
Like,
I know,
it's,
but I'm still. It's also been almost a full week, and I'm still fucking mad about it.
Complete side note: have you guys seen RotoWire?
No,
They have the
what that
Jays
is.
as the second best team in the AL East right now.
I'm with it. Who we?
Can we just look at this from a logical standpoint here for a second?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
Fucking pooper with your
If you
Dodgers
are
hat.
a 23-year-old kid,
Right.
Let's flip this right now.
Okay.
If you are a 23-year-old Canadian American, whatever, and you're going to play in Japan,
You're doing the baseball is dead thing on me because they talked
is
about
that
this
not
today.
is that not what you're doing? Like you want to surround yourself with at least a
Yeah.
couple people that
Sure.
are speaking the same language, like that you can kind of relate to. Also, if it came down to LA and Toronto city-wise, would you rather not be on the West Coast in like warm weather?
Yeah,
I mean, you're
in
in Toronto in the summer. It's still warm.
It also doesn't help that Toronto currently is in like one of the coldest fucking periods.
Yeah.
Also,
He showed up here and went, "Holy fuck."
But Jesus Christ, I'm going to LA.
But
Nope,
look
sorry,
at,
guys.
look at the rosters and look at what the teams have committed to. The Jays haven't committed anything really right now.
I get it.
Like,
I don't want
the
to look at
Dodgers
the
are
rosters because
committed
the
to
Dodgers
winning.
will trump ours every day of the week.
I'm not
Twice
even
on Sundays.
talking the roster. I'm just saying like committing. Like the Jays haven't even committed to Vladdy yet, man.
The
Like,
Dodgers will be good at minimum the next 10 years. Like,
Mm-hmm. And then they will be broke as fuck for the next 10, but that's beyond the point.
they will now be paying over more than $1 billion in deferrals in 10 years. Do we want to move off of Roki but stick in LA?
No, I do want to bring up something Nate said.
Okay.
Because the man, the myth, the legend himself, Carlos Baerga,
oh my God,
did bring up the fact that they may or may not sign Vlad based on like the Santander move. And apparently apparently it helped bringing him in. I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It's like
I'm with it. Baerga is wrong so many times, but this is the one time.
Baerga is also saying that we're getting not Santander, Profar and Scherzer. Like,
there we go. In Baerga, we trust.
Hey, man, if we in Baerga we trusted all the time,
we would have Freddie Freeman.
Do you want to know what our current infield would be?
So nasty. I don't know.
It would be
Shohei, no?
It'd be Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, Jose Ramirez, Freddie Freeman. It'd be
fantastic.
It'd be so fucking disgusting.
Fantastic.
Also,
and they'd all be signed for 15 years.
And then Bo Bichette would DH, actually. Sorry.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Or
in Baerga, we trust.
Okay, let's just backpedal here for a sec. You'd move Bo to 2, you'd move Ramirez to 3rd, and you'd DH Vlad.
Yes, I thought of Lindor.
Nope. we do the dumbest thing.
No, you stick Jose Ramirez in left field. That's what you do.
Yep. Did I miss anything? I haven't even pulled up the list yet.
Wise? Actually, no. I think we're good.
No? All right. Not bad. We didn't really talk about Max Scherzer, but I like it. I like the Max Scherzer idea.
He's at minimum.
If he's gonna pitch, he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think at least, or he's gonna be at least serviceable. Like again, he's a dog too. Like he's just a guy you want kind of around a lot of younger guys, I think. So
there is that
gamer mentality is above pretty much anyone you've ever seen.
There is also that John Heyman report. Again, it's Heyman, so take that with a pound of salt because he is a Boris puppet. It's basically saying like if the Jays get Alonso, we're like 90% to get Scherzer. Like,
makes sense.
So.
He still had a 3.95 last year, even though he was hurt. Like, if that's your 5-starter, and it sucks to call Max Scherzer your 5-starter, but if he's your 5-starter,
he would realistically be your 5 now or 4.
Yeah, I think that's That's serviceable numbers.
At what,
And if
40
he's healthy,
goals?
he's probably throwing better than that anyways.
Yeah.
And the merch with the blue and the brown eyes stuff is just going to be so much fun.
Oh yeah, he's getting a
So
bubble.
fun. Oh, for sure. So is Santander for some reason. It's going to have like a potato on it. I almost promise you.
Also, the people that just
Potato?
found out that his nickname
Yeah,
is
because
Tony
Tony
Taters.
Taters.
Oh my god, Tony Tater Tots
Oh.
in the food sections. Tony Tater
Oh, yeah.
Tots.
We're still sponsored by McCain, no?
McCain's Tony Tater Tots.
Yeah. There's
Like,
going to be something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for
Also,
the Jays, right?
team
No?
guy Dalton Varsho switching,
Well, yeah,
letting
he went to-
Santander take 25. So
Good for him.
yep.
There's only
He'll
one
be here
real
longer than-
25 in this team history. Come on now.
Yeah, but he's the one that has it. So
It's not the same. It doesn't hit the same.
they're basically the same player.
There's also only one.
No.
Pretty much the same.
No.
Future non-Hall of Famers. We're fine.
Dalton Varsho also becomes the
One
greatest
of-
player to wear
one
number
of
5 in Jason.
them has like a career 300 average.
Nah.
Also, I'm pretty sure the O-Dog were number 5, so like let's put a little respect on the O-Dog over
Dog.
Dalton Varsho.
I was making
Dog.
a Santiago Espinal joke.
Was Odog fun?
O-Dog
Oh.
was fun.
Brother, he was 1.
Was he?
When was it
I think he was
one?
5.
He might have been 5 at one point, but he was 1 on his bobblehead, so. All right. The Dodgers also signed Tanner Scott
And Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates, thank you. And LeBron
Are you mad about
James
these still too?
and Thanos. See, this is why I think it was just purely Sasaki based, because when those hit, I'm like, yeah, no shit. I don't know. I don't care.
No, it was
They're
Tanner
gonna be
Scott when
good.
you blew up. It wasn't Sasaki. It was
Was
Tanner
it?
Scott when you blew
Tanner
up.
Scott was when you
Yes.
blew up because
I'm just-
I think you also saw the fact that it was a lot of deferred money again too.
Hey, but really, look at this.
We can't say
They
anything.
both
about
signed the week of January 20th.
it. Yes, it is very
January
late.
20th.
It is late.
30 teams had a shot. 30 teams didn't value these two guys.
And also, the Dodgers bullpen was the one spot that they didn't really invest money in until now.
Mhm.
Like, so
Where
I don't think you can hate on the player or the Dodgers for this. Like,
I hate the
if you're
players.
this late,
I
if
hate
you're
all the
this
players.
late into the season and this is the money you're getting, why?
see,
Who cares? It's the same as
I
Snell.
don't think these
I-
were their only offers. I'm fairly certain.
but then again, it's LA.
Sure. Well, that's why I hate the players.
So
it's
just-
But it hasn't come
feeding
out.
into
The teams
this.
offered them more.
I don't know.
Did you hear anyone linked to Kirby Yates or Tanner Scott? Like,
I didn't
This
pay
whole
attention
process.
There
to
was a
either one of
bunch
these
of teams
signings.
linked to
I gotta
Tanner
be honest.
Scott. I do know that, but I don't really know anything for Kirby Yates. Like,
can we just pause for a second and look at the entire Dodgers offseason though?
Mhm.
it is.
First, Blake Snell, I believe.
It was
Mhm.
Snell.
They
Conforto.
hopped on the market early. They paid him fair market value, if not more.
Mhm.
You can hate them for spending money, sure, if that's what you want to do. But like,
I don't even hate them for spending money anymore. But carry on. Sorry.
no, and then it's like Conforto and Teo
Conforto,
both
Teo.
got fair value. Teo said he wanted to go there basically no matter what, but like they didn't lowball him and shit. Like they brought him back at a fair value.
Oh, they extended Tommy Edman at a relatively fair value.
Mhm.
Like
They're
it's not
paying their
guys are taking
guys,
a
like,
pay
it's-
brought back Trinan,
No.
signed Hai-Sung Kim. Like
I get
Yeah.
why people are hating on the Dodgers and like the whole salary cap thing, which I want to get into here.
salary cap. You don't need.
Like you can hate on the Dodgers all you want, but like you should be hating on like the Marlins, the Pirates. If you come out and give these guys this money a month ago,
Nothing happens because they still have the Dodgers in their back pocket going, hey, we have
I don't
Shohei
think so
Ohtani.
because I don't think the Dodgers were in it until recently.
I highly doubt it.
Did you hear? Okay,
I don't
Tanner
hear
Scott
sh-
had a lot of teams rumored.
Yeah.
I did not hear the Dodgers until he signed with the Dodgers.
I'm not
And
sure.
Kirby Yates, you heard nothing.
Side note.
I'm not sure.
Side note, and somehow this just popped back in my head.
Mhm.
Hey, baseball writers, could you just maybe, I don't know, for the sake of objectivity, tweet out who finished second in the Santander sweepstakes, please? Just for the
I would
sake
love
of
to know,
objectivity,
actually.
please. I would love to
I'd
know.
love to know who also had it.
because even though we could have been the 5th team on Tanner Scott, we got fucking named as the team that was in on him
Mhm.
after he signed.
My thing, you hear this a lot lately, and it's any team in the league could do what the Dodgers are doing because they have the money. And
Yes and
No,
no.
no,
it's
no, no, no.
absolutely no.
That is not
I
what's
know
being
that's not
said.
what you said,
No,
but I
no,
know it's what a lot of
but
people have said.
that's not what's being said.
What people are saying
I
is the
think you
Dodgers are bad for baseball.
no, I think you said that slightly differently than maybe I've heard it differently, but I
Mhm.
think any team could have made these signings. Not all of them collectively, but any collection of teams could have picked up all these players.
I don't think so. I genuinely don't think there was an opportunity. As long as the Dodgers are out there and any of these guys know that there's interest from the Dodgers, regardless of what the money is, they're not going anywhere else. If you come to me and you say, look, the let's say the Marlins, for example, say the Marlins pony up and they're going to offer, what did Snell get?
182, I believe.
So let's say the Marlins are going to say, hey, we'll give you 195. The Dodgers
Not
can
for
step
that.
up and
No.
they're not going to, but if they did, where's Blake Snell going to go?
No, but
Are you going to take the extra
I'm
money to
saying
go there? Or are you going to go here?
not for $15 million or whatever you just said. Like you've got to give him an extra year and like substantial money. I
Sure,
understand
but it's
that.
the same. It's the
So
same. Even if I came first,
Blake Snell's a different animal here. I think
mm,
there's a certain amount of teams that can afford that type of money, but there's lots of teams that need bullpen help and could have got Kirby Yates for 30 for 3 years or something along those lines, or Tanner Scott for 50 for three, whatever they are. Like
sure,
there's a lot of
a
teams
lot
that
for
could have done
years.
these deals.
They could have, but it doesn't matter because the Dodgers have it already locked up. Because if you're competing with the
If
Dodgers,
they
you're going
had
to
it
go to the
locked up, why
Dodgers
didn't they do it 2 months ago?
because they didn't have to. They were waiting to see what else laid out, and this is where they ended up. Nothing happened until the Sasaki deal. It's very clear that a lot of teams were trying to line up based on that. And as soon as it hit, they announced both of these ones after. Nobody's lining up to take anybody else's money right now
I
other
can
than the Dodgers
understand
because
how
there's
you're
no point.
interpreting this. I don't agree, but I can understand where you're coming from.
We're at the point where if you want the best chance to win a championship, it's the Dodgers and then a ginormous gap and then the next group of teams. And any player that pretends they want to go win championships is going to go to the Dodgers because
So
that's your best shot.
so and this is obviously just like a note here.
Mhm.
Pre even the Kirby Yates deal, because we actually don't even know the numbers for that.
Mhm.
The Dodgers luxury tax payroll will exceed 375 million. That is about 70 million more than the next highest team, Philly.
It's crazy.
Jesus.
The
Okay,
Dodgers,
so yes, that's a lot of spending. Look at those early mid late
Yankees, yeah.
2000s Yankees teams. They were
Mhm.
spending double other
Mhm.
teams.
This is
Double.
very. I'm glad you brought this up, but those Yankee teams weren't deferring all of the money
Mhm.
either. They were
That's the other
paying.
thing is that 375 is not 375.
I also don't care. Everyone's deferring money now.
I mean,
Sure,
yeah,
No,
we
that's
did
not
it.
the point. The
We did
point
it
is
for
that
Santander.
the
Also,
Dodgers are also spending double.
the
They're just
only
spending it in 20
the
years.
only reason this happens is because the Dodgers have a fucking unicorn who said, "Hey, 680 of my 700, I'll wait."
The second the Dodgers got Shohei Ohtani, they just had the
To
key to get whoever they want
Shohei
from
Ohtani
that
to do,
point on.
no, not even Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani to do that.
Yeah, they're set,
Like,
and it's fine. It's what happened, and there's a lot of teams you can blame for this being the way that it is. And
I think I don't know who
here we
put it
are.
on Twitter. I sent it to you guys though, but like this started with John Henry
Mhm.
and the Red
Mookie
Sox
Betts.
not wanting to pay
Mookie
Mookie
Betts.
Betts,
This
giving him up
also,
for basically nothing because they didn't want to pay David Price.
I
yeah,
also
Like
and
blame. Is it
you can
Scott Boris
bring
that was representing Freeman?
I don't I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think it's Boris's fault.
It,
Atlanta traded for Olsen, and then there was the whole thing of like Freddie
wasn't the
thought he
whole
was
thing
going
that like,
back,
yeah,
and
Freddie wanted to go back,
then
and then like he
Atlanta
said there was no
didn't know if he
offers.
was coming back, so he just went. They just traded for Olsen, and then Freddie went,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, okay."
Okay, well they clearly hadn't made an offer if it got to that point, but you can blame the Braves for that.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the Angels never doing a goddamn thing.
I blame the Angels for a lot of things in life. This
Just
is
the
one of
Angels'
them.
existence.
Yeah. Yeah. The Dodgers have created a legitimate super team.
Yes.
We're not here to argue that, right? Like
No,
No.
they are projected to have 10 wins more than the next closest.
I was going to
team.
say, you can say that they're a top 3 rotation in baseball, a top 3 lineup in baseball, and a top 10.
They're the best rotation in baseball. Let's not disrespect them with top 3.
I'm like the low
end.
Yeah, and they're what 1 or 2 in best lineup
Their
in baseball.
7 starter would be our 2.
That's fine. They don't have the best rotation in baseball.
Who's better than the Dodgers?
Are we saying
One to five.
Seattle over them?
No, in no world.
I'm
in
not,
no world.
Who is
Tyler
LA's
Glasnow's their 5.
Who's their horse?
All of them.
They don't have one.
They're gonna all get hurt. You're right.
This is the thing.
Do you know who's thrown the most innings in that rotation?
In last season, or just
their entire career? Take a guess at the guy and take a guess at the number.
Tyler Glasnow.
No.
It's Blake Snell.
Yes.
It's definitely Blake Snell.
It's definitely Blake Snell, but
can you guess the number? I don't know exactly.
Is it under 1,000?
I don't think he's cracked 200, is he?
No, it's like
innings
170 something.
Yeah.
It is like 170 something.
Doesn't matter because they don't have to pitch every 5th day. They're pitching every 6th because they have 7 guys. 7.
I understand that. They don't have the best rotation in baseball.
Coming back.
They don't have the best rotation in baseball.
They have the best rotation in baseball.
I will say
this is not arguable. Who line them up? Who once you get past the 3 in Seattle, who's behind them?
You're not gonna. There's gonna be we're not disrespecting Brian Wu.
But he's not touching
Gilbert
the bottom end of the Dodgers.
Gilbert, Castillo,
Miller, Kirby.
Yeah, there's your 5.
You line them up. None of them are better than their counterpart on the Dodgers.
Full hot take, and it's maybe a place of delusion and a place of hatred. I'm taking Brian. On the mound. I'm taking Brian Wu over Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani's coming off his second Tommy John.
Sure. Maybe Shohei's
never pitched in the big leagues. Haseo's got hurt every year.
I think Roki's career high in innings in Japan is like 130 something.
Yamamoto got hurt last year
for a good chunk of the year.
I get what you're saying. I'd also throw the Phillies in the ring there. Wheeler, Nola.
They're not deep enough.
Luzardo, Sanchez, Ranger, and Taiwan Walker.
If Taiwan's your 6, you take
Chris. Wait, who did you say?
Nola, Wheeler,
Sanchez,
Luzardo,
Sanchez, Ranger,
and then
Taiwan Walker.
Taiwan Walker be your 6.
That's a great.
Yeah, they're very top heavy. Luzardo wasn't good last year, if I'm not wrong.
He's also on the Marlins, so you can't really take shit from there.
That's right.
He was hurt last year. Okay, but Luzardo can be an ace. Wheeler is an ace.
Wheeler is arguably the best.
Nola is
league
a
ace.
Definite 2. And absolutely eats innings.
Sanchez and Suarez.
Ranger in short bursts is very good. And Sanchez was elite last year for the better part of the season and cooled off a little bit, but I think he was still around a 3 ERA.
Yeah.
I still
Taiwan Walker was serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you're not talking about anyone on the Dodgers 1 through 7 as serviceable. They're all when healthy. Granted, the whole argument falls apart in June when they're all on the IL, and I get that. But if we're talking about them all throwing, they're all top of the rotation guys.
Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell, Sasaki. Shohei's also not starting the season. Pitching apparently.
Going to be there.
But okay, Shohei, who's your 6?
Dustin May.
Is Tony Gonsolin back?
Tony Gonsolin's back too.
I don't think he is.
He missed all of last year, and I'm pretty sure he got it the year before. He should be back.
Dustin May is absolutely filthy, but he's
not healthy.
Been serviceable as a starter.
Yeah. That's fine. So your 6-7 guy is serviceable. I don't know.
Which is the same as I just said for the Phillies.
Right, but I'm talking the rest of them I think are probably all above Nola, if we're being honest.
Let's see.
It depends on what you value. That bullpen is going to get overworked fuck ton.
So Fangraphs.
So Nola's a mid threes, but he's giving you 200 innings, bunch of Ks, and
Hmm.
like you
None
know
of
what you're
these guys are
getting.
putting up innings this year because they have
The thing
the
with
depth.
Nola is you know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with anyone really in that rotation other than Snell.
I don't know if you know what you're getting with Nola.
You
Nola's been
get
kind of
you get no. You're
up and
getting
down.
at least you get a 3.5 to a 3.8 with Nola. You know what you're
Yeah,
getting. Like
yeah. Okay.
also on Fangraphs they do have the opening day. The opening day roster for the Dodgers is a 6-man rotation.
Mhm.
It does have Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin, and
Mhm.
then the four that we obviously mentioned. So they will be ready for opening day.
Dustin May has never thrown more than 14 games
This
No,
is true.
in a
he's got to
season.
stay healthy. I know.
Yeah, and also
He
just
has a career 3-1. That's
you,
a lot better than I thought.
oh my
He's
god.
nasty, but he just hasn't pitched. He's got
There's four.
he had throat surgery
There's
last
four
year.
guys on the IL for the Dodgers, not including Clayton Kershaw, Kyle Hurt, River Ryan, Emmett Sheehan, and Gavin Stone. Like what the
Hmm.
fuck? Those are
Sheehan's
like
nasty too,
those are
but
four
They're
fives
he's
in
not
a
going to
lot
pitch
of
this year.
rotation.
they're all gonna get sent to the minors.
Yeah.
Which
So they
is
don't have to
which
worry
is
about it.
ridiculous.
Just I know ERA is not the whole total package, but like the last 4 years for Nola, 3.57, four
Yeah,
four
I just
six,
looked. He's got
three
like a
two five,
3.7 career.
4.63.
Oh my
Like
god.
generally, like he evens out, but like it's back and
He's
forth
a
every year.
2. He's not an ace. He's a 2.
4.46 is not my two.
Also, just casually didn't bring them up.
That's not
Landon
last. That's not his career. That's one
Yeah, but
season.
that's
Landon fucking
based on
Mack.
patterns. That's coming up.
Yeah. Well, all right. Can we get off
Okay,
the
can we just talk about like there are people saying they want a strike in 2027
see that's insane.
and a lockout rather than
Mm.
baseball to get rid of this? Look, you want a salary cap? Go nuts.
Hmm.
When was the
That's not
last repeat champion in Major League Baseball?
Yankees. It was like 2000. It was
2000
99, 2000.
yeah.
and 01.
No, one was Arizona.
Was it 98, 99, 2000? Because it was
That
three
might be
years.
it.
Yeah, it was 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah, you're right. Last
Let's.
repeat champion. When was the
I
last
mean,
repeat champion in the NFL? They have a salary cap, right?
Currently,
this year, the
Oh,
Chiefs.
yeah. When was the last repeat champion in
the
the
Warriors.
NBA? They have a
Warriors are
salary
like,
cap, right?
Warriors won 5 in a row, I think.
well,
They have
okay,
a
so they were
salary
eight.
cap, right?
Yeah,
The
When was the
Lightning
last
is
repeat
0. They
champion in
run.
the NHL?
Lightning were a couple years ago.
Lightning in
They have a
Salary
salary
cap's not
cap,
going to make a
right?
difference.
Lightning in
However,
2021.
there's no fixing this.
No,
Like
you've kind of the
The
bot. You
issue
can't put the
is these.
pin. Yeah, you can't
we've already blown the
you
grenade up,
can't
Connor. I
cork
know
the
what you're
bottle.
trying to say here. It's
You can't
gone. It
cork
blew
the
up.
bottle anymore. Like
No, it
when
blew
you're
up,
giving
man.
out $700 million contracts, you can't put it back in the box.
Like,
Like
okay, the Dodgers are X amount in the luxury tax, everything, yada yada. Half of that goes to these smaller market teams
Mhm.
in
That
revenue
don't use it.
sharing,
That
and they're
don't
not
use it.
spending it. Like, go blame
I think a
Pittsburgh.
floor.
You have
You
a
want to know?
generational talent on the mound.
Yeah,
Give
And
him
a
a
very
10-year,
they have not.
$250 million deal.
and a very
They
good
have
number
not
two
had.
who's just as young.
Speaking of Paul Skeens, they have not had a single conversation about an extension. He came out
Also,
and
I
said
don't
that.
think
He goes, they have not approached me once.
Also,
I
according to
don't, I
Pirates Fest,
don't blame. I'm saying this. I don't know.
do it again. No,
That's
After year
that's
one is tough.
can
What do
we
you
make
value
the
him?
argument that Paul Skeens could be the best pitcher in baseball this year?
he's a top
Yes,
five.
100%.
He goes in as a top
That
five
is the best pitcher in baseball this year, and you're not even thinking, maybe we lock that up for a long time.
now.
After a rookie year,
Whether
what
he
do you
does it or not
offer?
isn't the point. But I'm coming to him being like,
If
hey, buddy,
see Brant, if
15
they
years?
don't do it, if they don't
I
do it
agree. I think it's a tough.
after
I think it's a tough number to figure out.
after if they,
I think
I'm
I agree. I'm sorry.
Brant. I'm more in your boat of anger if they don't do it after this season.
That's kind of where I was getting at. I
Sure.
think it's more a year two type thing.
Sure.
Do it
But to
for 2
not
years.
even approach him
But
at all?
no, but they're not gonna do it. That's the thing. It doesn't matter.
No,
We can
I understand.
we can talk about it
That's
till we're
my
blue in the
point here, is that
face.
they're not going to do it because they're the Pirates. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and also just another team
They're
you can
making fucking loads, and their owner is just claiming, "Oh, we're barely scraping by. We're barely making." You're
Because you don't have a team on the field, so nobody shows up.
also the Cubs. Did you hear the Cubs? I think was it the owner, or the GM being like, our objective every year is to break even. And like, and then there's also
I
Jerry
think it's
DePoto.
fair. You're
Fucking
not
Jerry
trying to
DePoto
operate at a
with
loss.
his 54% winning thing that he's had a couple years ago. Like,
Oh, it's
also
just it's bullshit from these small market teams. The Twins
On
haven't made a major league roster addition
the
in
only
like
thing I will
2
say,
years.
the only thing I will say to the Twins this offseason, I'm not going to give them last offseason. They're kind of in the process of
Yes,
changing ownership,
I understand. But
so
like trade, they haven't made a trade.
that's
there
bad.
are 5 teams this year that haven't spent $1.
Padres, Marlins, Cardinals, um,
Twins,
Twins.
I don't know who they are, but I just heard it on
Rockies,
That was
baseball.
4 of the 5. Like I can't.
Rockies.
That would
No,
check out.
Rocky signed Tovar or not Tovar. Tyro Estrada.
Was
So they
that a
actually spent.
resign?
No, that
I
was
don't know where he was
that was
before.
Tyro was in
Okay.
San Fran. But
Okay.
here's another problem: the Dodgers have more deferred money currently on their roster than the Tampa Bay Rays have spent in their last 11 seasons combined.
Yeah.
And that's another
Now,
one because Tampa has made it work. Tampa's been competitive.
mhm.
I would not want to be a Rays fan because you cannot latch on to any player ever.
And
Never
the
buy a
one,
jersey.
and the one that you could
Is a bad person.
is a bad person.
But that is the biggest. I think that is way more an issue than the Dodgers. Is every team just all these small market teams are, oh, we can beat Tampa. No, you
Mm.
can't.
No.
You know what I
But you can
think
try.
is
See, I get what you're saying here, and you're right. I'm not going to disagree with you, but to play devil's advocate, you now have the Dodgers who realistically, if I gave you $100 right now, who are you putting your money on to win the World Series?
the Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers.
It did no, but
The
that's not
Dodgers
like
are almost guaranteed to be there, bare minimum. So if you're a team like
For sure.
the, let's say the Pirates, just for argument's sake, you're not going to outspend the Dodgers. You're not going to put a team together that can beat the Dodgers without getting a whole lot of luck. So what's the
We
point in
already
blowing all
agreed.
your money to do it?
Put a team around these guys. You have two of the best young starting pitchers in baseball.
But
You know
Pirates
what?
are a bad example
You know
because they
what?
should be doing something.
Pirates.
You know,
Pirates is
you
a
know what
terrible
I'll give
example.
you? You know what I'll give you? You can go make the playoffs. Any team can. You know
Mhm.
what? You know who can be pissed about the Dodgers spending? The NL West.
The Arizona
The
Diamondbacks.
Pirates are not in the fucking NL West. They could that division is up for grabs, bro.
Sure.
Easily.
Let's say the Giants then. Even though the Giants have tried to
The
spend
Giants
money for
have
the last
they've
however many
and they
years.
also
The
have
Giants
spent,
have spent.
have spent.
Yeah.
They got
They
um,
re-upped Matt Chapman. They
they signed
got
Willie Adames.
and they got a pitcher too, didn't they? Verlander.
Yeah, they brought in Verlander. Like
Oh, yeah.
they're trying.
The Giants have spent money. So have the Diamondbacks. The
Yeah.
Padres are in a weird situation. The
Padres
Rockies are the
ownership thing
Rockies.
is-
The Rockies have at least tried to spend at points.
Have they? Well, Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant, they gave Arenado the extension and then flipped it, but like they at least tried at one point. They locked
Yeah.
up a couple of those starters, I think.
Fuck, what team was I?
But like the NL Central or the AL Central or either Central, honestly, they haven't
Yeah.
done shit. Both divisions
No.
are up for grabs. Like I said, I hammered the drum last offseason that I love the Royals offseason because they
Yeah.
went out,
They
they
tried
made
something.
smart moves, they brought in veteran guys who were going to be productive rather than just being like, and we can throw together a bunch of young guys to
But then
maybe be good.
to the same thing. If you're a Royals fan, you say, okay, keep going.
Mm-hmm. And they
They
really have not.
haven't.
They've
When
made
one
a
of the
couple, haven't
when
they?
one
Like
of the
they
people
got India. Like, it was a trade,
Okay,
granted,
yeah.
but like that's a good way
Fair.
to upgrade your team.
but
I
like
like bringing back Lorenzen. They gave him a
fuck,
decent
that is
chunk
right.
of
They did get
change.
Michael.
Like I think
I
there's
guess.
somebody else. They've made a few.
I
They've
was
made
gonna
a
say
few
this.
smart moves around the
It-
margin. I
yeah.
wish they could spend
Yeah,
more.
it just looks very weird, or like not weird, but like I don't know the word for it. But one of the 3 things that you announced on your official Twitter page was you signed Kevin Biggio to a minor league contract. Like that's one of the like official things that you put
Did
out.
the Royals not make a lot of money? I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know
okay.
if you
I
guys
don't
have
think
that.
so. I think Kansas
I
City's a
don't
tough
know.
market.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay,
lose
also-
quite a lot of that market share to St. Louis as well. So
Another thing that pisses me off, and I don't. It's probably not worse than like the Pirates or anything like that. It's when the ownership wants to spend money and clearly has told the GM to spend money, and the GM's just like, no, we're not going to do it. Baltimore.
Yep.
I think Baltimore's in a weird spot.
You if you re-up, you try and sign Gunnar Henderson now.
You got to do something.
If you prove that if you want to be the team that we all think you are,
Mm-hmm.
you can't like okay. Corbin Burns, obviously, what we know now, he wanted to be with family.
He was going.
he was going anyway. But like I think it's a lot more to do with the fact that not just like they're not re-upping like Santander, for example, or Burns. It's the people that they're bringing in to replace them. When it's like a clear downgrade to me.
Yes, but they spread the money around smartly, I think. I don't think Santander made sense to come back.
No.
Not
My
necessarily.
question. Sorry, Connor, go ahead.
But my thing is just like, hey, we have Santander. We're just gonna bring in Tyler O'Neill. Granted, you can.
Yeah.
That's more of a pick'em. But like Corbin Burns is gone. We're not gonna go get. We're not going to try to get Max Fried. We're not going to try to trade for Garrett Crochet.
Oh, you're right, because they could
Like
have
they didn't even
spent this
get in the
whole
market.
offseason.
They
could have
didn't even
spent
get
this
in the
whole
market
off-
is my issue.
They could have taken the money they've spent this offseason and just given it to one free agent starting pitcher. They could have. They probably should have. It might have been smart. But you know what? You know what? At least they are making moves. They're spending. I think Gunnar Henderson's also a tough one. Like, you don't know if you guys want to be in Baltimore.
No. Well, I think that maybe they have, and maybe this is why
we haven't heard it, but like Adley's a tough lockup after last year.
And
a lot of like Jackson Holiday, kind of along the same vein as Paul Skeens, but like, what do you value him at? What do you value Colton Cowser at?
And it's also just the fact that it's like, hey, you had like one of the best farm systems in baseball. Granted, a lot of the guys that you had in that farm system are now on your team, but you're so gun shy to trade them for anything.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's for dumb shit like Eloy Jimenez and Trevor Rogers, who's on your AAA team. Like
Nate said something that kind of
also they're in the AL East, so I don't really give a shit. Like
they don't really know what their situation is going to look like, and I think that's on them a little bit. Like you need to be approaching these guys and being like, look, do you want to sign an extension here now? Yes, no, whatever. If they don't want to be here, then you got to go for it now because this is your window.
Yeah. This new owner does have more money. He doesn't have like Steve Cohen type money or like the Guggenheim Group type money. Like
he has ambition
I think he has enough money, but like also maybe this wasn't the free agent class they were looking at. Who knows? Maybe they want to spend more next year. Maybe like you don't know. There's a lot to it. I'm going to be way less hard on Baltimore than a lot of these other teams because they have spent money.
I wasn't even bringing them up to be like, shit on these guys. It's just like very funny to me.
It is odd that they're not.
I get where you're coming from for sure.
It's weird that they're not more like us.
You know who we can shit on? The Tigers.
Oh my God.
They hurt
my
had a miracle run.
They hurt my head. They've only brought in Glaber, right?
Did they bring in a starter?
They're in heavy on Bregman.
Yeah, that Bregman stuff apparently stalled. Like, so
I think Bregman as a human stalled. Like, I don't know what he's waiting on, but
dude, let's be honest with ourselves here, and we'll quickly go through stuff later. But Bregman's a fucking Red Sox. It's like he's a Red Sox.
I think so. I'm fine with that.
He's a Red Sox. He's gonna play second base for the Red Sox, but he's a Red Sox.
I'm so much more mad at all these teams in the Centrals primarily.
Like they should be going for something, yeah. Again,
Miami's another one. Like, I get it. You're in the East. You are by far the worst team, but like,
they're not going anywhere.
Do something.
Like at least even
they have been since when did they win the second World Series? 03. They have been in a perpetual rebuild, and they get close, and then they spiral back down, and it's just like up.
I thought they were going to be real when they brought in Jose Reyes and Ozzie Guillen and changed all the jerseys and Josh Johnson and Mark Burley. That failed fucking so fast.
And then they were going to be real.
And then we did it.
Fernandez, Stanton,
Ozuna,
Yelich, Ozuna, Realmuto.
Like, looking back, sorry to cut off your train of thought here. Going back, that is the dumbest thing we ever did. Like the Marlins brought all these guys in to be like, yeah, this is going to make us good. And then they sucked. So we went, hey, let's try that. Like, that doesn't make any American sense.
We only
just added R.A. Dickey to the shithole that they put together and tried it again.
Jose.
We only got two of the guys they picked up that offseason.
We got
Johnson, Burley,
we took their roster and said, let's try it.
John Buck.
We also gave
Emilio
up
Bonifacio.
We gave up like a Hechavarria.
It was a great trade. It just was dumb to think that it was going to turn the franchise around.
I mean, in a vacuum, it kind of did.
Well, I guess we traded
because Reyes turned into Tulo, and then the rest is history. But
sure.
yeah,
I guess
We just went off on like a 20-minute.
Yeah,
that
that was fun.
we can just
Rip
quickly
through
run.
these quick. AJ Minter went to the Mets. Good.
Good for the Mets. I feel
I would
like
have liked him.
they were in on Tanner Scott as far as I was aware. Like,
Yeah.
so when they got
Sticking
AJ
with
Minter,
the Mets. Do you want to talk more? I got nothing else.
No,
to say
no,
about
sorry.
Minter, unless you do. No, you're good.
Minter's fine.
Sticking with the Mets, Jesse Winker to the Mets for way too much money.
It was hilarious that like this was the move that's like, oh yeah, the Mets are pivoting off Pete.
Yeah, what?
Winker was the Pete.
That's not the same stratosphere, but okay.
It's not like they did
He was on your team. They were both on your
both
team
on the
last
team
year.
at the same time and functioned really well.
Yeah, I don't know what that's wild. I like the move for them because I think Winker kind of thrived there.
It was fine for them. Yeah, it was good for them.
It's fun.
But it
He's
was
a
just
good
like,
piece. Good.
oh, Jesse
He's
Winker's
been
here.
such a hot and cold guy, though. Like,
yeah, he's a good dugout guy though, and they seem to love him there.
I
So
will
that's
never forget that
fine.
the infamous Seattle and Cincinnati trade. It was the Jesse Winker trade,
Mhm.
and Winker did
And
nothing
it did not
in
work.
Seattle.
Mhm.
He did nothing, and it turned into the Eugenio Suarez trade.
Yep, wild. This next one kind of bothers me because I totally forgot that Paul Sewald was a free agent.
Yeah, and
For
That
like
would have been a
nothing.
nice name to be in on.
he's going to be dirty in that bullpen.
Mhm. He's
He's
going
like-
to Cleveland.
He's maybe their fourth best guy now. Maybe
Yeah.
Gaddis, Clase, and Smith, and
Yeah.
then you go from there.
That's
Sure.
nasty bullpen. They have nothing else though, so I'm not too worried about
Yeah, they traded Josh Naylor and then brought in
Everyone's
Carlos
gone.
Santana, and then Jimenez is gone.
And Jimenez. Yeah.
Miles
Don't forget about Miles Straw.
Hey, Miles, you will respect the guy that's getting paid the
Yeah.
seventh most money this year for the Blue Jays.
He's seventh.
No.
Seventh most money.
That's
Seventh
not that
most amount
bad.
of money. No,
I
that's
thought
bad.
it'd be way more. I thought it'd be
For
way more near
Miles
the
fucking
top.
Straw, that's bad.
Yeah. Good center fielder though. I don't know. Jose Leclerc
Oakland's still
went
doing
to the
things.
Athletics.
Yes. Jose Leclerc.
Like,
He's
been-
definitely not seventh. Fuck off. No, I just had to think that through. He's not seventh.
Are we talking
Vlad,
AAV or are we talking
Bo,
total
Dude,
cash?
hold
No,
up.
Vlad, Bo,
Wait, we're-
Santander, Jimenez,
Okay, see, that was pre-Santander.
Gossman,
Jimenez.
Bassett, Barrios.
Springer.
That's seven right there. Springer.
Springer.
Isn't
Bart.
Chad Green like around 12, 13?
Oh, he's like 8.
Can I just
He had a good year.
reference this? I didn't take this from like a place of stupid channel. I took this from Sportsnet stats.
Oh.
So like it wasn't like a
So who did they have him? I guess that was pre Santander.
it was pre-Sant it was as of the 17th. So it was pre-Santander. It was
but it was post Jeff Hoffman.
post Jeff Hoffman.
He's making more than Jeff Hoffman.
Is he making
No,
more than Jeff
he's
Hoffman?
not making more than Jeff Hoffman.
Isn't Hoffman at 11 and Straw at 12?
Apparently this season Straw's at 7, which is like
Maybe that's where you got 7 from.
That's
Yeah.
definitely where you got 7 from.
No,
because
it's
like Varsho's probably around there. if
newest.
not
It
more,
literally.
so is
I'm going to
Kirk.
read quote what it
Okay.
says on Sportsnet stats. Designated for assignment by Cleveland in March 2024. Yikes. Newest Blue Jay acquisition. Miles Straw is currently slated to be the team's 7th highest paid player in 2026. In 2026 at 7.4 million.
That makes more sense because now we
That's-
lose all
that's
those
Bassett,
guys.
That's Bassett gone. That's Vlad gone. That's Bo
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
that's
fine.
Chad Green
Green.
gone.
That makes more sense.
Sure, that makes way more sense.
Which is still no.
Thanks,
It's still sad.
Connor.
It's still sad. It's still
All
very
right.
sad.
Martin Maldonado went to the Padres. That means absolutely nothing.
No, it doesn't. Oh,
Right on.
quickly, one thing on Jose Leclerc. He's been in
Mhm.
Texas for so long that he is the bridge between Prince Fielder and Wyatt Langford.
Really?
Like it's that.
That's not really that long.
The Prince was what 16 to 25,
9 years.
9 years.
9 years.
Very good. I'm a little disappointed in us that we got this far without bringing him up. Bob Euchre died
R.I.P. Bob Uecker.
within. It was literally the day after our last podcast.
Yeah,
So it's been a while.
just a bit
now.
outside.
Yeah.
That movie is undefeated. I love
we
that movie.
I watched both of them.
always.
One is still way better than 2, I think.
I don't think anyone's ever said otherwise.
Okay,
No,
just making sure
they're
that
both
we
great.
all agree.
We
2
always
is
get
quite a drop off.
2's hit and miss.
these conversations always happen for us like way too long after like the person ends up dying like the day after our podcast. And
That
I always
happened-
feel like
that's the second
every
time
time
that's happened. this
yeah,
offseason.
and it feels like it's already been like strung out a lot. and there's
Mhm.
not much more we can say that people that have way more listeners than us have already said. But yeah, he was a legend to the game, both on the field, off the field, all around, outside of baseball, did not matter.
On the screen, yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
link from Bob Gibson to Jackson Churio.
Literally.
See, now that's cooler. That's
Much
way cooler.
much better link than the other one.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Bob Gibson stuff though?
I think
No,
so.
I
It was a
might
while
have.
ago now. I don't remember.
I guess he was a catcher, right? So he went out for a mound visit one time, and Gibson's like, "What the fuck are you doing out here?" I don't know who the center fielder was. He's like, "Oh, I'm just going to talk to him." Like the center fielder should know the name, like well known
Yeah.
name, I think. But and then they took a team photo, and they were like cuddling and holding hands, and they
Mhm.
both got fined and had to retake the photo.
I love it.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a plethora of stories. Enough people, I think, have talked about it. We're not going to do any of it
Yeah,
justice at this point.
yeah.
Um,
Great baseball personality, I guess,
it's
overall.
probably the best
Like
way to put it. Yeah.
baseball lifer
Um,
for sure.
Fought cancer. Apparently, his was liver cancer or something like that, right? Or something around the
Yeah.
realm.
I don't remember.
Tough, man. Brutal.
Let's bounce.
Yeah, not great to transition off of that. The Cubs of
Jersey
New
podcast.
Jersey.
Jersey podcast. We're back because we were doing that shit for the entirety
The
of
Cubs have
2020.
beautiful new jackets. Did I end up sending those to you guys?
I
No.
saw the jackets, yeah.
But
They're
dude,
so
these-
nice.
can we just
Hmm?
I kind of love these jerseys.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I love them.
But the merch that goes with it is fantastic. I think they
Yeah.
did great.
Yeah, these again
Distracts you from the fact that they're just
teams
not
just
spending
going
money.
with baby blue. Kind of hard to miss. Like
Good
'cause
call.
you can't name me a bad baby blue in
Baby
MLB.
blue and cream are just like the two you need.
I don't think you can. Nate's trying to think. I don't think Nate, you can name me a bad baby blue.
The Rays.
I don't like Tampa's, yeah.
Okay, let's not. All right,
I
but okay,
They're not bad, though. Like,
objectively-
they're just-
not, no, they're okay.
I
Like,
think if they weren't the Rays, we'd be fine.
no, I don't like them. I also
White pants?
I, what?
Is it because it's white pants?
No. I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
Eh,
I like white pants, but
less so. I don't know. It depends on the jersey, I think. But I don't love St. Louis's blues. They're not bad. I just think the
Again.
red just suits the city and the team way more, and it kind of
Yes.
doesn't make sense. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of more where I'm
I
at.
think even a bad baby blue is like at least a 6.
Tampa's is not a 6 for me, but that's fine.
Like relative, but
we did a jersey draft.
yes,
I'm like 67% certain that Nate drafted the Cardinals baby blues.
no, I think that was me.
Was it you?
It was me. I'm pretty sure.
I might have.
I want to go back and find it, but I
We
can't.
can probably hold on.
Oh, there it is.
They're nice jerseys. It's just I think it doesn't go.
With
Great.
the
Yeah,
vibe of
Yeah, I
the
don't-
city.
it doesn't necessarily match up with.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, I do feel that though. That's not a terrible take.
I can't find them. I swear it disappeared because I saw it this morning and now it's gone. Oh, there it is. Found it. Oh, I lied. Connor drafted them.
Yeah, it was. I told you it was me.
Yeah.
That was
Fair enough.
Well,
Where
yeah.
the hell are we here?
Lastly,
Oh!
speaking of Paul Skeens,
We just stayed in that division, huh?
yeah, pretty much. Oh God, we did everything.
Yep. The last three things have all been in the NL Central. An 11-year-old kid pulled the Paul Skeens one-of-one
Of course,
jersey
the
patch card.
fucker. Of course, the fucker's from LA.
Is he?
Because if LA couldn't get anything else, also
Hmm.
like prayers for the fires and all that stuff. But like, man,
They've earned this. What is this? If you're this 11-year-old kid right now, or even this 11-year-old kid's parents, you're keeping the card, right?
I mean, you're
What the fuck do you do with any of that stuff that Pittsburgh offered you?
Just no, you're not doing that, but I think you're selling the
You're
card.
selling
Maybe
the card.
eventually, but you're not selling it right now.
But
I
yeah,
don't think.
so
I
the
think
kid, so either
I'd put it up for auction or put it out
Like,
somewhere
yeah,
and
that's
see
the
what you
thing
could
is-
get for it.
I think if I'm the kid and I'm relatively close to Pittsburgh, I take the offer. But you're in
you're in
LA.
LA. Like this
You're in
kid's not
LA.
doing anything with that.
I don't think
Yeah.
you're taking it if you're relatively close to Pittsburgh. I think you could get way more money on the like open
The
market
value
for
of
it.
what you can get for the card, I think, probably
Let's
outmatches
see.
what Pittsburgh's
It's
offering you.
okay. So
Meeting schemes would be cool.
if he does trade it
Would be
in, he gets 2 Pirates season tickets behind home plate for the
Mhm.
next 30 years.
Yeah, but they're not actually really behind home plate. Somebody calculated all the value, and it's not that much.
Yeah, it's a meet and
Like,
greet
it's
with Paul
really
Skeens,
relatively cheap.
2 autographed Paul Skeens jerseys. It's not great.
That's nice.
A softball game for 30 at PNC Park. With coaching from Pirates alum, aka Neil Walker,
Dave Parker,
Dave Parker, Neil Walker, like those
Pedro
people.
Alvarez,
the ghost of Roberto Clemente,
Andrew. I know he's not an alum, but Andrew McCutcheon.
Francisco Liriano.
Private tour of Pirates
Burnett.
City and what is Lecom Park? Jesus, that's a pull.
Travis Snyder.
Rowdy Telez. I don't care. He's still in the league. It's the fucking
IKF.
Pirates. He's Brian De La Cruz. And then a Pirates game with Livy
Tyler
Dunn.
Heineman.
See, a Pirates game with Livy Dunn, though, guys. Come on now.
Yeah,
With Livy Dunn.
now
Courtesy of
that
Livy
might
Dunn.
be worth selling the card.
Okay, you know what? Moving on. Go to Who He Be, because
Is that it? Well, I guess
That was
the
it.
last thing on here was
it
what do
was
you call it?
it was the Hall of Fame, but we started with that.
Fair enough. Okay, let me find my guy here. I screenshotted it earlier to make sure I didn't lose it. You guys ever heard of Ed Walsh?
That
Joe
name
Walsh.
sounds so generic that I might have. Like
Ed Walsh. There might be some baseball nerds listening that would know. He is the all-time leader in ERA, all time, which is fantastic. Good for him.
The highest story
In-
ever.
If you want to pull up the history of ever, he's got some gold on that baseball reference page.
He does.
If you want to pull up that page and take a look at his 1910 season, might be the wildest thing I've ever seen.
1910. Okay.
I want you to take a look at some of the bold on there. Just tell me what you see.
He
Some
led the
good
league in
numbers.
saves.
He what?
He led the league in saves.
That's crazy.
He
I
led
didn't see that part.
He started
a
36
1
games, but he's saved 5.
He had a 1.27 ERA. He had 20 losses.
He's
Yeah,
18,
he was all.
18 and 20.
Did you look at what team he played for?
No.
It's a 1910.
He's
White
the
Sox.
only pitcher ever to have an ERA like in that range with that many losses.
Also, he has an 11 WAR.
Insane. 20 losses that year.
Also,
What do the rest of this say?
He led the league in
he
strikeout to
had-
walk ratio at a 4.23.
mhm. He had 38 decisions in 45 appearances. He had, I think it was 9 or 10 shutouts or something like that with a no-hitter or something stupid. Just insane shit.
Also,
Still
greatest-
led the league in losses, led the league in ERA. That's what it was. Lead the league. He was the only pitcher ever to lead the league in both.
Also, all-time FIP leader.
Dog.
He has 2 gold things in there. 202
Dog.
FIP.
Didn't win the Cy Young, I don't think.
Yeah, he
that year.
He was a 2-time
He did
MVP runner-up.
He lost 20 games. He was not winning the Cy Young.
But he had the best ERA in the league.
That doesn't matter in that time.
Put that guy on a literally average team and he wins the Cy Young handedly.
He
Crazy.
Just for reference, the 1910 Chicago White Sox had a record of 68, 85, and 3.
3. They had ties back then, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my who he be.
No,
The
that's
only
Bro, what were
player-
they supposed to do when it got dark?
this is true.
Turn the lights on.
This is
Everyone just hold up a floodlight. Could be fun. I'm assuming we're not drafting this week. It's been probably long.
No, we had a very. I mean, dude, we worked
We had a
probably.
lot
We
to
might
talk
have.
about.
We might have, but then we decided to go on a 30-minute rant about money in baseball.
It's what we do here.
No.
Yeah.
Grant decided to talk for half an hour about how he hated Roki Sasaki.
That's fair.
This is fair.
I don't regret any of that. I think that was all the right thing to do. I stand by it. I'm booing the shit out of that guy if I ever get to watch him pitch.
I mean,
I'll be
are the
angry
Dodgers
for
in
ever.
LA? I think the Dodgers are in LA this year, aren't they?
They
Yeah,
are
well,
in
they're
LA, yeah.
probably in there every single
sorry.
home game that they
What
play.
you fucking
81 times, actually.
You guys know what I
Actually, no,
meant,
that's a
I
lie.
think.
That's a lie.
Oh,
It's
they're in
not 81.
Japan.
The Jays are in LA this year is what I meant to say.
Yes.
Is it is it this? Yeah, the Jays are in LA this year. God damn
Shohei
it.
came to Toronto last year.
So Brant's
they're
gonna
not.
take his California
year.
road trip to see Roki
I might
Sasaki
to boo him at home. I'll get knocked out by a
to
Dodgers fan
deal
in a
against the
heartbeat.
Blue Jays. And you're gonna lose your shit. So, just a quick question: either of you guys getting a Tony Taters jersey?
No.
Probably not.
Okay,
Probably
it
not.
was valid. It was like it's fair.
That's
Oh,
fair.
should we announce that Brent and I made a bet?
Oh yeah. What was it about?
This will wrap us up.
Oh, it was the
I,
Dodgers of the field, right?
I gave you even money, Dodgers of the field, and you're taking the Dodgers.
Yeah. Because the Dodgers are going to win it. This is what I wanted to say too. That they're just. That I know baseball is supposed to be random and all that. When's the last time we've seen a team that's like this good across the board?
Yankees.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they're just this much better than everyone else. This is
I
where I'm
don't
at.
think so.
But anyways, our bet.
Phillies.
Um,
Um,
I don't think the Phillies were that much better. They might have been.
that
Either way,
rotation
our
was
bet.
hands down better than this one. And that lineup was nasty. Doc,
That's
Cliff
conversation.
Lee,
That's a
Cole Hamels,
conversation
Roy
for another
Oswalt,
time
Joe
because we're
Blanton.
at the end of this one. There were also never mind. Our bet boils down to even money, the field versus the Dodgers. I have the Dodgers. Nate has the field. Loser buys the winner a jersey of their choice. That's where we're at. We'll see. I trust my side more. Here we go. Thank you for listening. You guys got anything else to say before I
I want to know
fire us
what
out of
Connor
here?
would take in that bet. Which side would you take?
Sorry, wait, what was the bet again?
Dodgers of the field, even money.
Dodgers or the field?
Even money.
Even money. I'm taking the field.
100%.
I'm taking the field. That's the easiest.
Taking the Dodgers.
Brand.
You can say it's the easiest, but when the
Brand.
Dodgers just won the World Series without Tyler Glasnow
Grant, you
and
can't.
a healthy Yamamoto, and then added everything to
gonna
it.
be here. We're gonna be here for a little bit. Brant, you can't have one of your hot takes last season be the Dodgers will lose in the first
I
round,
know that
and
was
then next
dumb.
season go to
That was pure
they
jealousy.
are going. I will take them over the field in the World Series.
They got better. Like we're talking about a team that walked to the World Series. Now they had some challenge against
They
the
didn't walk the
Padres.
World Series.
They barely beat the Padres, but then they walked the rest of it. They walked right through the Yankees. They didn't even show up. And they got better. You can't tell me that team's not going to win the World Series again.
I don't disagree that they got better.
They're better. They're winning it all. Thank you for listening. We will catch you next week, probably same time. Yeah. Cheers.